How's it going? Yeah, so we're just gonna have a chat, yeah, about what the app, everything like that. Irish, the app, anything.
We're going to ignore the 20 minutes we spent setting up the video.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the crack? This is Michael and Shane, and we're gonna talk about Sionnach. We're building Sionnach. The app, what is it? How long have we been at it now at the minute?
I don't know, too long.
Too long.
No, it's been four months, I think. It started at the end of May, and now we're coming into September, right? So it's been all the whole summer. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pure addictive, isn't it? You can like it sometimes it's too much because we should be doing other stuff. It's just so much fun to go on and build a feature and like, do something fun and put
It's
it out
easy,
there.
like, not to like look after yourself. The basics, like, you don't get up, you delay the bathroom, you delay
Yeah,
eating, you delay your sleep,
literally,
everything.
I stopped playing football for like a month, and I wasn't sleeping. I was just up all night coding. Like the wife was going crazy. She's just
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
bed.
Well, hopefully it pays off. Who knows? Like,
Yeah,
and like, we're doing it. We haven't got anything from it really, apart from, like, internal satisfaction or whatever.
no, we've
Um,
lost money if anything.
we lost.
um, yeah, but I mean, like it's kind of like building towards something. I kind of have the vision and stuff, and uh, we've kind of done a lot so far, and it's kind of going really well. So. I mean, the way we structured it and it's volunteer based, like we can go on forever, right? So it's just a case of like listening to people's feedback, putting stuff out, and like eventually it'll just become better and better and better, right? Which is kind of exciting to think.
Yeah,
Like where will it be in? It's been what, 4 months, 3 months? Where will it be in 6 months and 12 months? Is kind of interesting.
yeah. Or is it even possible to, like, support it? Because I know, like, there's the servers and stuff. A lot of stuff people don't really think about. Like, servers cost money to store all the data, and licenses for, like, this software and that software. It's
Yeah, and
not.
in fact, if you put out a thing and say on Sunday night and it breaks on Monday morning, we can't fix it till Monday evening, right? Because we're not full time. So like the app needs to have uh, somebody full time eventually. Um, so like yeah, and especially because now it's it keeps growing exponentially the number of users on it. So with every jump in users, it's like more and more issues are kind of brought out. So more and more we have a responsibility to fix them when more and more people come on. So it's like we have a responsibility then to like find a way to make it sustainable and like provide the services people
Like, and
expect.
do
And
you think we should, like, chat about that on this call that we're going to share with people, like, just in case, like, just to get other people's opinion, maybe, like, ideas we've had. Obviously we've talked about it.
I think
Like,
we should just be like totally open and honest and like just don't even filter in the slightest.
yeah,
Just completely all out there. Like
yeah,
like it's a fucking hobby or like a sport or something. Just completely out in the open. Like you're having points with people. There's no point hiding anything, I don't
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Uh,
I agree. So
uh,
let's chat then. Let's talk about it.
when I first kind of took off and we are getting loads of users and stuff, and like my friends were telling me like go raise money with a VC, like go do a startup, and
Yeah,
that's not going to work. Like there's no way that's going to work. And I knew it deep down it wasn't going to work. It didn't make any sense. And like where that road led to and ended up was on Tulchabon was Duolingo, right? That's just where you would end up,
yeah.
with just a soulless app. I'm going to go hard on Duolingo now. But like the whole Irish experience on it's very like removed from the language. It's very like just ads and you're on the app. If you're on the app anytime soon, just try and count or think about how long you're spending on the app and you're not actually learning anything. You're watching an animation or like some kind of thing selling you something, or like how long are you actually doing the exercises and stuff. And then the exercises themselves always felt so random. I mean, in the beginning, I think it was much better. I had really good forums in the beginning. I used to really like them, clicking on the words and seeing all the stuff, but they removed those. And then it's just like the sentences seem so removed from anything you might say. I don't know how many times I've typed in like Uachtaráin in that app, and I don't know what I'm learning because it's like every second sentence seems to be on Uachtaráin or something like this.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's like Irish isn't a focus for them. They're they have so many languages on there, and I don't think Irish is a big focus. It's one of many, many. And and I've heard recently they're like pushing to consolidate everything under one system where they can use like AI to do everything. I've heard things like this, which
Yeah.
is the
Well,
opposite.
I guess we could be political about it and like be polite, but at the end of the day, they're like firing people to replace them with AI, and it's like
Yeah,
that's doesn't really work with a language app, I don't think, because language is fundamentally personal and human. So like to have, I don't know, I strongly disagree with that.
and that's like not even to speak of like Irish. It's like different from Japanese or French with their millions of speakers. Irish has its own history, and there's like there's a fear or a want to preserve something amongst a lot of people who are interested in Irish. And like, what dialect is Duolingo? Like, it's not a
I don't know
dialect.
actually, 'cause they changed it now, didn't they? They used to be a native speaker, right? And they had recordings, and then they've changed it since. I thought,
Yeah,
I don't know, it's been a while since I
but
was on it. I
I
wasn't.
don't. Even then, it doesn't capture the full, variety of, different constructions and like, ways of speech, different words that are used in different dialects. It doesn't capture that, and I think that's something that we hope to be able to do. Like,
I think it doesn't even like acknowledge the existence of multiple dialects. There is no option in it to pick a different dialect, right? So you
no,
can't
I've never
even
seen
be
that.
aware that there's different ones, yeah,
Yeah,
which is
it's just
interesting.
Kaidan.
But I think the thing with Duolingo is not to forget, is that how much hope it brought in the beginning, because it was the fastest growing app in Duolingo. It had 1 million people, and this was a time when, like, before kneecap and the great how cool the language became and stuff. And it was just like, oh, all of a sudden this app has 1 million people on it. And I think maybe the feeling was that surely in like 5 years, or I don't know, however many years, we would have, a noticeable uptick in speakers. But that hasn't really happened, I don't think. I finished the course twice. I did it once, and then I did it again with the gold thing when you go through it again. Um, I'm not fluent by any means, so I think that's a common complaint.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
but then like just the fact that 1 million people are learning it on the app is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah,
Like
it's
even if
like
10% of those
there's
people,
like there's like a want, and they're going towards, like, I talk to people who are interested in Irish or trying to learn Irish, and we all seem to know the same apps. We all will go and seek out anything we can to try and improve. And yeah, it just sucks that there's nothing really
that's the other
Duolingo
thing,
does.
because the stats are like, I think in language apps, about, I think like 10% of people might sign up for the premium, and Duolingo premium's what, €12, €10 or something. So like if you round it down to €10, that's like 1 million people and 10%. I know this is a rough calculation, but that's a lot of money into the language if it was done right. Like a lot of, like if they were hiring Irish speakers and Irish educators and Irish people for that would be a lot of revenue and jobs
Yeah.
for the language. So the potential is obvious. I think it's like if it could just be handled well.
Yeah, the want isn't there, and then that's like tying back to what you said about like getting, VCs or angel investors or whatever. It's like, are they motivated on like the language and things like that? Are they motivated on like how can we streamline this and make it, cheaper? Like how can we get more return? And I
Yeah, I
think,
think if you had like an investor, like, and they wanted to maximize income, I think they would lock a lot of content behind the paywall. Like if you're thinking about theoretically, how do you make the most money from the app? Stick in ads, put it behind the paywall, basically copy Duolingo, and then only provide one standard. Don't even mention the other standards. Don't even mention the other dialects. Don't even mention them. Just give one, and then that's how you would maximize the and then like kind of give the, and this was the other thing too, like give the appearance of progress, give the appearance that you're actually learning,
yeah,
and get people to kind of get onto the grind mechanics, the kind of like doing stuff to get points and scores and stuff, but
I
you're not
see
actually
so
trying to
many
teach the
people.
language. Yeah, so it's
I
like,
see so many people, they want to like log in to keep their streak, and it's like they're like ignoring all the content. It's not about the content. They just want the points, they want the streak, they want the
oh, your friend who has 3 years streak in Spanish and can't speak a word of it. That's my
absolutely love
favorite
it.
one.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Definitely not me.
So I think like we've talked about this idea, and it'd be cool to get like feedback on something like this, like supporting native speakers, allowing teachers, say, educators of Irish, and whoever they are, whether they're professional or just randomers, and to create like content on the app, create courses that then they can like serve to their students, or random people from around the world can say, oh, there's a course from some old man that lives on, Inisheer, and he's doing a course and talking about stuff he's interested in. Like that's covering the dialects with his voice, with his
Yeah,
unique, idioms, whatever the case may be. And then
this is when I get
he's making some type of, profit or money from that. And like that's pretty cool if you can actually like support people, and like there's issues in the Gaeltachts, even in Ireland in general, people having to move away to like Australia and these different countries because there's no opportunity. They don't feel like there's opportunity for them here. It'd be cool if you could like, and it's
this is why it
even
gets
more
exciting,
important
right?
in the Gaeltacht.
Because it's like it doesn't make sense for everybody who's teaching the language to build an app. It makes sense for somebody who knows how to build apps to build one app, and everybody use the one app. And then on the other side, myself and yourself are learning the language, so we're not really in the best position to teach it. Even if we could wave a wand and be fluent tomorrow, like we're still relatively new. Whereas to find somebody who's lived this language for decades or however long has lived it, dedicated their life to it, is a much better person. So for me and you, our skill set is tool makers. We make the tools, we create them, and obviously in the beginning we need to kind of put content in because it's hard to kind of show how a tool works if you don't use it. How does a hammer work? And like to see someone using it, right? But ultimately, it's like you said, the Gaeltachts are under stress. Particularly young people can't find places to live. It's a lot of the jobs are tourism based, which is very seasonal and stuff. So like to create a way or a means for young people or anybody in the Gaeltacht to like get an extra income, particularly in like the tourism off season and stuff, would be just fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is there's a lot of strong Gaeltachts and stuff, but just to have access to the language as it's spoken, not in a standard, not in like something that's captured from 50 years ago, but something that's spoken today daily, to capture that and have that on the app and learn from someone who uses it and lives the language. That would be just, really good. So on the one side, you have people like ourselves who want to learn it and struggle to find teachers. Like it's difficult to find, and for us, it's easier than other people who live in, the US or maybe Australia. So finding a teacher is difficult, and then finding a teacher that's in your dialect that you want to learn, that maybe you have a family connection to, like that's even harder again. So,
And then like
so
a teacher, like when you're a teacher, you're doing like one-on-one classes usually. And then, obviously you can only do so many of them a week or whatever the case may be, or a day. They don't have time, they have other commitments, they have to do this, but this is a different way where they can, create the course with video, say, with like their audio, with speech, incorporating little exercises, so it's like interactive. They maybe get some feedback on their attempts and things like that. Like they can spread out much further than would be possible by like traditional, classes or whatever the case may be. I think
that
like the end of the day, it's just two fellas who love Irish. We want to do what we can with what we have, to do it, and that's what we've done. We've we've got programming experience. We started just building something and sharing it out there with the hopes of getting, people to support it, to help us, to give us ideas, to, review it, whatever the case, maybe help out if they can, things like that. We've been doing that for like 4 months or so between our, our normal lives and work, and there's like just realities of life is that in this friggin' system that we live in, you have to you have to have money, you have to make a living, you have a certain amount of time, you have to sleep and whatever the case. So then I think that kind of reality kind of hit us. It goes against our idealistic thinking. We see that we're not just getting support from the community, and I think we're thinking about how can we make this actually grow and have the biggest impact and reach the most people that it
Yeah,
can. How can
hit
we?
its potential, right? Go for the full potential. Yeah, definitely.
I think we've been kind of forced by, the reality of like weighing everything up that we need to have some type of income. And then it's like, how do we get it? There's like grants or VCs, like angel investors. But then there's like pros and cons with all of that. And we've thought through it all and we thought about, losing control or the integrity of the mission or whatever you would want to call it. Um, and I think like it's best as like voluntarily, like if people can voluntarily choose, then that's great. We did try that model for a while and we didn't really get much, to be honest. We do have supporters and we're like appreciative of
Yeah,
that.
I think we've tapped it out. Like we've pushed it to its limit. I mean, we can keep going obviously as we are, but I think realistically, or like if we keep going like this, it would just be more of the same that's there now. Whereas I think the app I really want is a level up, and the app I really want will take, you know, a professional kind of setup and stuff to kind of do it properly, because we've done what we could with what we have, but we both want native audio like badly. We both want like we also have the vision that we want to do stuff, but like the frustration of having to be realistic and stay within our means and not put anything in that we can't maintain.
There's
And
things that are
just
literally impossible for us, right? Like we could go and learn the required Irish for each dialect, but that's going to take 50 years, if at all. Like, no, like, is that good for the language or what we're trying to do? No, like, or if we want to get someone, what's the chances they're going to do it for free? It's like, it's much easier to offer them something.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think people would like pay for that. So we came up with something like we don't want to charge for the app. We don't want to put friggin' ads. We don't want to string people along, give them like, block things that just when they're getting through the course, it just locks up on them or something like
that's what
that. Yeah,
happened.
we don't want to do things like that at all.
I
Like,
guess the talk about too is like what do we want? I think like we're not looking to go and like make millions and become on Google. Like I think realistically, like in a perfect world, wave a magic wand. Like maybe a team of, you know, 3, 4, 5 people, a few artists, language people, engineers, a small team could build like the best between both worlds. You're going to get like a really professional, world class app, I suppose, but dedicated, talented people, and then it's not going to cost you like running. Not going to cost millions or anything like this. So, whereas if we just stay as we are now, giving up all our free time and like, um the frustration of not being able to like go as fast as we like and do stuff that we might do in our professional life is bad. So it's like I don't think the app will get to where it needs to be if we keep doing as we're going. So I think we need to kind of like step up and grow into what needs to be done. And I think that is like expanding out a team, and the app realistically in the modern world we live in needs a revenue stream, because even with grants or like one-off donations and stuff, it's my you're going to constantly be looking for it, and that's a full-time job in and of itself. So like it needs a revenue, like a blood flow. That's what will keep it alive, and just enough for maybe a salary or two. It won't be mine. I'm not going to be working on it. So I'm saying this from an unbiased point of view. I'm not going to benefit from this beyond getting a better app, which is what I want. So it's like I think the app to like go on and live for decades and grow and expand and become what it needs to be. And I think it needs to grow to stay alive. Like that is just the nature of life. You can't stay stagnant. It's a
yeah.
garden. It needs to keep growing.
So I think like what we talked about, like we can do something that's by choice. Like we have free courses and we have a lot of content, and if we have revenue, we pump that into, creating free content or making it better. But then there's other content that's made by specific individuals, educators, influencers who are you speak Irish and that's their whole thing, where they can create courses and they can make, money. People can choose to buy that course, access to the course or something like that. and then we get a small cut out of that, and that's what helps the app keep
Mm.
going, and that's what the revenue stream is. I think we talked about that, and at the minute, that seems like maybe the direction we're going to go.
I think so because looking at the lessons now, like we did the best we could, but like how much better will the lessons be if it was done by somebody who has actual experience teaching people over years and has sat down with somebody and spoke to them and taught them for months on end and I saw the moment when the language clicked and saw how it grow and stuff. And then even without that, getting somebody who can do recordings and give you the proper reference for the vocals, because
And like
and then
that doesn't
somebody,
exist. That doesn't exist. And like if you're thinking like separate dialects, you can literally have a dialect or a person from a generation that is not represented in any books. Like you can't find this stuff
yeah,
unless you go and visit them. But it gives them an opportunity from their house, say, to to share themselves, to share this richness of the language with their audio, with maybe a video they include, and their sentences, with their spelling and stuff like that. Like you cannot get that anywhere. And I think people like thirst for it. Imagine your like ancestors came from that area. There's a lot of like the diaspora that are interested in Irish as well as people from Ireland. And I'm at, like, how can they connect with that really? Like an app,
literally,
something that's like available worldwide is like a really powerful way to do that. And like if we can have a part in that, I think it's like worth it.
I think like
The
looking at the
chances
app
of
now,
getting that without
that's impossible.
remuneration is low.
So I can see so clearly the limitations of the model we have now because uh, and then I think it's because I've thought more and more about if we because if someone's going to go in and like we want to give a whole multimedia experience, we want to have like the videos and then like PDFs and audio and just everything, right? And for someone to do that, it's not going to be done on a volunteer basis, and nor should it be. If someone's going to take out their time and provide their expertise as a teacher, I think they should be compensated for it. So it's like, and then they're going to have to maintain it because it's not going to be done. They're going to have to keep going back in and changing and stuff. So like I'm not going to go and ask somebody to do that for free. We've done it because we like doing it and stuff.
Maybe
I'm
one
writing the code.
person would do it, but that's not a
Yeah, I
sustainable
still wouldn't even feel
process.
good about it because you'd see them killing themselves and you'd be like, oh, okay, like on their shoulders. Whereas I think like it doesn't like even the freemium model or maybe some people pay and it covers the maintenance costs for other people and stuff. But and I haven't thought through that. I was going for a run the other day and I was just thinking about it like could you just imagine having someone gone in, they've crafted a course and like what we're going to do next, and then they're going to have videos and audio and all that kind of just dripping with flavor, and it's just so much better than what we have now. And this happens with the app a lot where we have a vision and we build it out, and then when we get there, it's like this is really cool for about a day, and then it's like we come to the next thing, and then we can't stand the thing now because the next thing's so much better, right? So, um, yeah, I think like definitely the way to go now is to we become the tool makers in the middle where we like I'm not going to have any shareholders or any of this stuff. We're just going to be all the money goes into the company, into most of the money will go to the creators. We take a small percentage, and that just basically covers the salaries of a small team, well run, professional and talented, all this type of stuff. And then they basically build tools. So like one team, 4 or 5 people, builds tools for everybody else rather than building 100 different apps. You just build one, listen to the community, listen obviously to the creators what they want and stuff, and just respond to it. Because then I think organically it's become very, very good. You can see it from our Discord and stuff. Just people talking amongst themselves. It's just phenomenal stuff. So
Yeah.
rather than us trying to control everything, which I think was Duolingo's mistake, I think we just get out of the way, and
Yeah.
just create good tools and just take a small percentage to like manage the payments, the content, all that kind of stuff. Keep it running,
Yeah.
and I think that's the way to go. That's what I'm obsessed with at the moment.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so. I think so. I think there's like, just internal, like me personally, I just want to give things for free, but I don't have, I have a limited amount that I can give. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the speech. I don't have the stories, but others do. And how can we connect them, and how can we make it actually feasible in this modern world? And I think, the
well, that's it
same.
because like, me and you are good at the code. We can do that all day, but what slowed us down and takes the longest is the content, and we even still make mistakes. So it's
Yeah.
like it's much better to let the experts take over, and we focus on what we're good at. Um, so yeah, I don't know. That's kind of exciting to me, and I think too, like for the Irish language, and it's a big surge now. And it's going great and stuff. I do think that we need to be investing in our own tools. We shouldn't be relying on italkies or Duolingos or complaining about them because these are not of scales. They're not from us. We should be creating our own. There's plenty of expertise and world class people in Ireland and from Gaelic backgrounds and stuff. So like, you know, we can just build our own tools. And this was the whole point of this project, to show that we don't need to, you know, raise millions or do stuff. We can just build it grassroots, like it's, and the grassroots projects, the grassroots approach has worked really, really well. It worked well in the first Gaelic revival, and it worked well. It's working well north of the border, and it's like, you know, maybe the mistake was to go to government and get it top down, trying to like do it that way. Maybe it just needs to be from the ground up.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah, and
believe
saying,
that us, we as a people, as a, you know, wherever we are in the world, who have this, you know, want, can make it happen amongst ourselves. I don't think we need the rest of them or the outside world or governments, or I think we can
yeah,
do it if we want to. Like,
well, if they want to help, that's great. I won't
if
say
we
no
want
to
to help,
it.
we'll not say no, but yeah.
But my point is, like, I've got subscriptions. I've paid for subscription for Duolingo, and I've paid subscriptions to. I pay money to Italki. I pay money to LinkQ. And I actually was at one stage when that LinkQ Irish course was released. I was like one of the top contributors. So I was paying and contributing. You know. So my point is, these companies all have shareholders that just, you know, take the money and stuff, which is fine. This is the model. But as Gaelic, as Gaels, as Irish people and stuff like this, how much better would it be if the money was being spent and going into the language? And that's what our model will do. All the money will go either in, the small portion will go into us, and then the rest will go to the creator. And that's exciting.
And what about people who, you know, want to learn but they don't want to spend money? Say, what about them? Do they have a place on the app, or like we already have free content? Like we're not going to lock that away or anything like that because it wasn't created by a creator. You know, we're only applying this to people who have actually put in work to build the course. Then it obviously just makes sense that that is something that you would you would pay for.
Yeah, I think if you're going to learn Irish, it's kind of like you need to commit to it as a lifelong type of thing. So I mean, like, there's going to be periods in your life when you can't afford anything. Like, that's just the natural course of life for a lot of people. So like, it's totally fine that, and we'll provide the free stuff and access and so. I think the idea is more like, if you are in a position and you had the money, rather than spending it on a Duolingo or a LinkQ or something else, you would just come and spend it, and it would go to you know, a creator or something. This is the idea. So it's like, you can, if you had the option, and part of that money then would go into the team, and then we would take a freemium model where basically we don't, anytime we're doing anything for like the paid guys, we're always doing something that's free. So we're like, both sides are winning. So the revenue coming in from paid courses is also funding free stuff. All right, I think maybe we might call it there.
Yeah.
Been chatting for a while,
Yeah,
as
I
we
think
always
so.
anything to do. This time with the camera rolling. I guess we might do this again soon when it makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. I think hopefully we said something useful, you know, that people are interested in, and maybe get some feedback like on, you know, what they want to hear or what we're going to do next or any of our ideas. Yeah, that'd be useful. But
Definitely,
it
yeah.
was good crack for our first one, you know. I think we'll get better at it over time too.
Long live.
Slam them. Right, good man.
Right. See ya.